going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Very excited today. Today is episode 3 of the Rebuilding My Bag series with my guys from Titan Golf. And this is the episode I've been looking forward to the most because this is what actually kicked off this entire thing in the first place, was rebuilding my irons. And so we have a special episode today. I'm going to be playing irons only from the front tees here at the Falls, doing a little course vlog while I take you through a beautiful set of irons we landed on, how we got here, how the process came to be, what I've learned, and hopefully all this helps you. And I know I talk a lot in my videos, so hopefully I can balance it out with showing some more golf. Anyway, jump into it. First hole, 120 yards. Let's go. Literally could not have hit that more perfectly. We spun that off the hill, right down to the flag. We have that for birdie. Let's go. Not used to chipping with a pitching wedge, so that came out a little too hot for my taste. Luckily, it stayed on this hill. I have no idea how. But anyway, we have a little more than I wanted in terms of a putt, but it's all right. We'll take it. Okay, so if you've been following along up to this point with the Rebuild My Bag series, you'll know episode 1 kicked off with me explaining what prompted this in the first place, and doing a golf ball test over at Titan Golf. And in the midst of doing all that, Taylor saw my numbers with my 7-iron and just was like, dude, this is not the play for you. And how I got to that point really was, back in December, I had moved off of my Strixons with Dynamic Golds because at the time, honestly, I wasn't strong enough. My swing speed wasn't there. I hadn't invested enough in my physical fitness, and that really plagued me throughout last season. And so I switched to Callaway Apex 16s with a KBS Tour FLT 120 shaft. And so this lighter profile with a less stiff shaft was perfect for me and helped me really build my swing and get to a point where I could develop as a player with something that wasn't too stiff for my capabilities. And especially playing throughout the winter when things are colder, that lighter profile really helped me kind of develop my swing. Now, as things got warmer, as I got stronger, as my game progressed, I was now overloading the shaft to a point where the ball was just absolutely ballooning for me and I was spinning it off the planet. All right, the play here is we're just gonna lay up with a 7-iron. Gives us a better shot in. Since we're not using any wedges, we're just using the iron set today. I want to be able to have more of a full shot in, so that's what we're gonna rock with. All right, we got 114 to the flag. Just gonna hit a nice little sawed-off pitching wedge here. So, after Taylor roasted my current 7-iron capabilities, he then handed me his iron, and he said, just hit this, and then tell me what you think. And it was a premium Japanese forged blade with an extra stiff shaft. And right away, I was like, oh, this is different. This is something worth exploring. And explore we did. So, do you want to see what we ended up with first? I've been debating whether I should just show you what we got and then reverse engineer from there, or lead up to what we got. I kind of feel like I want to show you what we got and then tell you how we got there. Okay, let me just show you what we got. So the iron that I've ended up with, that now I'm going to be playing, is a Miura 501. How pure does that look? Isn't that nuts? I still can't believe it. These things, look at how, that That is art. That is poetry in motion right there. This is the head that Taylor has as well. And this is what he had me hit immediately. And I said, okay, this. Wow. Okay, I'll finish up this hole and get back to the story. That's cruel. The tough part about this pin is that if you don't land it perfectly up there, this collection area is just where everything ends up every time. So this chip up to this hill, I have had so many times. I've yet to try with the pitching wedge before, but let's see. Just trying to see if I can control the speed a little better. Comes out a touch hotter with the pitching wedge versus a normal wedge. There we go. Moving on. So after trying Taylor's Miura 501 for the first time, I was pretty set from the beginning that if possible, I was going to end up in Miura heads. Honestly, guys, it feels like nothing I've ever hit before. Like, I really loved how my Callaway Apex 16s felt, and it makes them feel like a toy in comparison. And I thought those felt incredible. Like, by comparison, it's just nuts. And I even tried like the Mizuno MP20s. Again, great iron, but it just does not compare to the feel of the Miuras. And I know that nothing feels like a Mizuno. That's their tag. And again, great brand. Not disparaging any brands, but I've tried a lot of gear, tried a lot of irons, and they're legit is nothing that feels as wicked as these. And you know, as I've gotten more and more into golf over the past couple years and stuff, I started to learn about Miura. And I remember watching Eric Anders Lang's factory tour and just seeing the craftsmanship that goes into a Miura iron. And as an artist and as someone in music, right, like I can relate a lot to somebody that takes their craft that seriously. And irons to me feel very much like one of the artistic pieces within a golf bag. You know, a driver requires a lab and all this extra technology, but irons feel like there's an art. There's just something, I don't know. And this could be a totally romantic way of thinking, and it probably is, but there's something that Miura does that just lends itself to that elite level of craftsmanship. So Brother Taylor, what's like, obviously I can feel the difference drastically in the heads. Like the Miuras feel incredible, but why? Like what is it that makes them so magic, and why is that feel so signature?
It's a 4-stamp forging process. Quality control at Miura is so much better than just about any other forging house in the world. You have the Endos and the Ippons up there as well, but Miura is just known for that quality.
And the other thing too is I wanted an iron that they're not going to come out with a new one in a little bit. Like one thing I don't like about golf in general is just this whole cyclical nature of products. And every year you're getting hit over the head with new stuff. And so, you know, one reason why I love the Pings is they're on at least a 2-year cycle with their woods. And with Miura irons, it's like, I just want to stick to what I have and just get used to something that's going to be awesome. And yeah, stand there. So anyway, long story short, we knew from the beginning that Miura was definitely going to be the head of choice. Also, Titan are the premier Miura dealers in Canada. They are the guys when it comes to dealing Miuras. And so they have so much product knowledge about it. They use it themselves. They understand. And Taylor also, you know, was very vocal about how this particular head would fit my game. And we tried between 3 different Miura heads. We tried the 501, the 201, and the MB 101. I pretty much ruled out the 201 right away. I was not a fan of the shape. It reminded me a lot of my Strixon irons. It just, the toe up, again, it had more forgiveness, but I didn't love looking down at it, and I want to be inspired with what I play. If we're gonna go to this level, well, I gotta love it. So the 201 was basically ruled out right away. Then we bounced between the 101 and the 501. And the 101 is awesome. It looks great. So sleek, so classic, just perfect. My only concern with it really was that on days when I'm really not cooking, not having any forgiveness would be a bit of a struggle. So I opted for the 501 because it feels and has the playability of a blade, but has that extra mass behind it that just helps on the days when I don't really have it. And also, especially in the long irons, you know, I've seen people say that sometimes they'll see a distance loss when using blades or things like that. That hasn't happened at all with these. If anything, I'm hitting it a little longer and more consistently. So I'm not seeing that drop off, but we definitely did a bunch of testing between, you know, which head, and the 501 was just money from the beginning. Well, that worked out pretty well from there. We've got that for eagle. That's rude. Well, as you can see from that last hole, getting plenty of launch and distance from my 4-iron, and I'm about to sling another 4-iron out here on this par 5. But now, in getting into, once we had an idea that this was the head we were going to have, next became shaft testing. And the shaft testing was actually the biggest part that I was worried about, because I wanted to really find something that felt right. You know, playing the X100s last year, I didn't love them. they just felt so boardy. And I don't know if it's just because I wasn't strong enough at the time or whatever it was. I made it work last year with those, but it definitely isn't something I liked. And I still had my Strixons up until about a month and a half ago before I sold them. And I would try and bring them out and I would hit them. And me and the X100 is just not a fan. So Taylor put together a bunch of shafts for me, and I actually really enjoyed how we decided to go about shaft testing. He put together kind of the extra stiff flavors among all the main competitors: Modus, KBS, Project X, you know, just basically all the flavors. And so we didn't actually even test on a GC quad to see if the shafts work. We actually went outside to the range, went to the bottom level, and I just hit shots over and over with different shafts. And Taylor and I just kind of watched together the ball flight, because the biggest issue I was having was hitting a great shot, but seeing it absolutely balloon. And so we kind of used, you know, the netting at the range as our barometer, and I just kept kind of firing shots out there, just seeing which one could stay at the desired level. And so based off that, that's how we actually made our decision, because I don't have a distance issue. I have a control, spin, and height issue. We both know that if we put me on a quad, we know we're going to see the ball go far enough. But what we can't see on a quad as easily as we can see outside is the ball flight our desired trajectory? And there was one shaft that, through all of them, provided that ball flight for us. And that shaft was the Project X 6.5. These rifle shafts, they just look so cool. What I like about this setup is I actually played rifle shafts when I was a kid. I got a set of hand-me-down clubs from a friend of mine who was a D1 golfer, and I had old rifle 5.5s in Titleist DCI irons. The offset and the shape of these kind of reminds me of that club, and I really like those rifle shafts. I just never thought to go back to them, because I honestly didn't think I was like good enough to play these when I was starting to evaluate clubs last year. A big thing for me when it comes to an iron that I've learned over the past season and a half of understanding what I like about clubs, and this is something I didn't know last year, was that I like a club that feels like very balanced, that the weight of the head all the way to the grip just feels a certain way. What I didn't end up liking about my Strixons was that the balance point felt off. The head felt too biased and there wasn't enough in the butt section. And I don't know if that was the build or if that was just the shaft combination or any of those things. But since then, I've been very focused on any club I put into the bag. I need it to feel balanced from top to bottom. And this combination is much heavier than my previous setup. I need to find the swing weight. I'm sorry, I didn't swing weight these, but I know they're drastically heavier. But this setup just now allows me to swing with that more penetrating, piercing ball flight, and I don't absolutely spin it off the planet. All right, we're just gonna punch this up there because I want a full shot in. Like if I was, the scoring play is to like launch a 4-iron here. I'm just gonna punch it up to the 150 because I want to see I want to hit it like a 9-iron or something else. So anyway, we're just gonna punch it up there. Gives ourselves a nice little full shot in and keep going. Perfect. What's been incredible about these irons is their turf interaction. Having these clubs work the way they do through the turf is just incredible. Flyers out of the rough are more controlled. Out of the fairway, as you'll see here, I'm gonna hit this shot and I'll show you. It just hits the turf and bounces and it's just so much more shallow. It's incredible. And it's something Taylor told me about, but let me show you guys right now what I'm talking about and you'll see the turf difference. All right, we got 145 to this pin. Just want to show you guys how great the turf interaction is with this. Just cuts right through like nothing. And just so you can get a sense of the turf interaction here, you see the pre-worn edge, it just this here with just the right amount of bounce, and it just cuts through the turf like nothing I've ever played. Also, another really cool touch with these clubs, custom Miura ferrules. Don't those look so sick, right? We're laying up again because I want a full iron shot in, and it's just more fun. And because the guys at Titan have such a good relationship with Miura and are great reps of the brand, they take a lot of pride in building these irons and building them the right way. So I know, when everything came in, they took a couple days to make sure everything was properly glued and assembled and swing weighted, and that the lofts and the lies all checked out, and everything quality control wise went into making sure these irons work the way they're supposed to work. Because again, like I was saying earlier, like Miuras feel like an artistic tool. They feel like something extra, and the guys at Titan really take pride in delivering on that. And you can feel that when working with them, which is really, really nice. You definitely feel taken care of, which I very much appreciate, and they've been amazing throughout this entire process. And just I feel so fortunate to work with them and have these in the bag. I can't even explain, guys. When I started this, I had never had new clubs. So, to have this in the bag is just, it's such a gift. It's such a gift. And it translates to performance. If you saw my most recent video with my tournament update, I put them into play. And a lot of that top 5 finish came from being able to control my irons way better. And so I'm already seeing the results of having the right set of tools put into play. And we're seeing that throughout this Rebuild My Bag series as I continue to, swap out the right tools with this partnership with them. I'm definitely seeing the gains I envisioned. And that's really cool. And that's really reassuring. And it's a testament to the work I put in and the work they put in and the meshing of that together. And so that's been what's really cool about this process. And I'm just so thankful and so appreciative to go through it. All right, I probably should have hit less club. I wanted a little more than 98 yards, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Nice little punch pitching wedge again. Here we go. Again? Three times. All right, we've left ourselves with a nice full shot in. Let's hopefully stick it close so we don't have a putt that sits on the edge for us and we can actually make another birdie. Oh no, just kicked off the hill. It landed right here and then unfortunately just hit the hill. Needed just a little bit there. That's fine. We'll make the putt. It's all good. Oh, come on. Oh, it lipped out all day. What a ferocious lip out that was. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can't even buy a birdie. Thank you. That's crazy. Wow, I cannot buy a birdie putt today. That's nuts. Anyway, regardless, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I am so excited to have these in the bag. Like, look at how good these are. I cannot believe these are my irons. This is such a gift. I am so excited to have these tools and to be able to play with them. Let me know in the comments if there's anything more you want to know about the Miuras. Please check out my guys over at Titan Golf in Surrey. I've linked their website below. They are awesome. If you're here in Lower Mainland, hit them up. Or if you're passing through Lower Mainland, they are the dudes, and I just appreciate them so much for hooking me up and getting my game right and for putting me in a position where I feel like I can really start to do what I envision I can in this game. And so this is a really exciting step for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like and subscribe if you love these irons. And I will catch you on the next one.